Hi, it's Mark Hartman with James River Armory. I wanted to do a quick video introducing our Gen 2 M14. The receiver is made out of 8620 billet steel. This follows on from our BM59 program. We've gone to billet. It gives some exceptional strength. Machining, the design, it's all pretty close to the USGI, other than the modifications to keep this as a semi-auto only. Wanted to go over a couple things. We're starting to ship rifles now in small quantities. Our production is very limited at this point. We're still running some BM59 receivers on the large machine, so these are run on a smaller machine, taking a lot longer. We're also doing some minor tweaking in between before we get these up into full production. We are manufacturing these here in our shop. We worked with our good friend Curtis Sebring. Curtis has essentially done all the programming, developed the fixturing, and has worked with us to manufacture this product. It's, realistically, the difference between a cast receiver and a billet or forged receiver, these things cost about 4 times as much to produce. We're having a limited, we're actually working with Curtis too, having a company manufacture our barrels. Our barrels are a 1 in 10 twist. Even though the original issue was a 1 in 12, the 1 in 10 came into use in the 60s with the light match barrel. The 1 in 12 is just a little too slow to handle a variety of bullets. Yet to figure out why they went to a slow twist like a 1 in 12, but if you're shooting the M118 173 grain, or you're shooting the 168 grain match bullets, they don't do a very good job of it. I prefer the 1 in 10, and that's what we ran these things with. We've used the full GI contour. Chrome lining will be available. We've got a lot of limitations with this product right now. We're running out of, we're basically building these things using USGI parts. So this rifle here, it's what we specialize in. We're collectors and history guys. We want this rifle to be as close to the issued M14 that was carried by the Army and the Marines in the 1960s. A lot of the M14s ended up in Vietnam, especially early on. Marine Corps used it throughout. You'll start seeing the M16 in some units by 1968. These rifles were essentially issued into the Marine Corps up to about 1980. Navy used them. Actually, they're still using them, but their main use now is for the line throwing for the unreps in the Navy. A lot of use. We gave a lot of these guns to our allies in the 70s and the 80s as the M16 replaced the M14 as the main battle rifle. I've been seeing reports that I guess we gave some to the Latvia and Lithuania, and they have been transshipped down, and they're actually in combat in Ukraine. We had a real resurgence of the M14 in the early 2000s in Afghanistan and in Iraq, where the capabilities, the 5.56 round just weren't adequate enough, so they started issuing M14s out. For the most part, they're done with in the U.S. system other than the Navy. Parts are getting very expensive. We have essentially a couple hundred CMP parts kits left over we were able to acquire. We don't have that many original USGI bolts. The initial production will be the core USGI. I imagine we'll be out of parts probably by springtime, and then we're going to have to go over and start using new production parts. First part we will be manufacturing is the bolt. I've been talking with Curtis. I mean, Curtis basically pulled off the 2 most complicated firearms receivers that could be imagined with both the BM59 and the M14, and we did that in a period of a year. The bolt is next. Believe it or not, that bolt is almost as complicated as the receiver between the various complex angles. Probably have samples in January. I don't want to push him too far. I mean, the guy is just, I can't say enough good about him. But he's like a dog with a bone once he starts a project, and he'll sit there and work 24 hours a day until it's done. And his basic motto is, if you're going to take the time to do it, you might as well do it right. So very pleased with that relationship. We've got some of these guns available now. They're on our website. We also have done a small shipment of rifles to Classic Firearms. They should be up very shortly. I want to go over a couple little things, and I'm seeing questions on the forums already. Yes, we will be selling receivers or barreled receivers. Right now, I won't have any more receivers probably for 2 or 3 weeks. We got to finish up the next lot and get them through heat treating. If you send me your barrel and bolt, we'll barrel it up, check the headspace, whatever it takes. We will do that for $8.95 with this receiver. Receivers themselves, we're going to limit that to, you know, some of the known builders out there. They would be about $8.25. I'm not ready to. The M14 is not like building an AR. You've got to have some specialty tools and some experience, and unfortunately, those of us who worked on these things in the military are aging out. So we're starting to run out of qualified M14 mechanics. The other thing we've had done, it was driving us nuts with the parts kits. The handguards were originally a plastic fiberglass. Good handguards are getting almost impossible to find, and they're getting incredibly expensive. We worked with the folks at Phoenix Technologies. They have been providing the kind of the retro AR furniture, and they've gotten very good at trying to match the look and feel of the original Air plastics, only with a modern polymer. We've had the mold made. We are manufacturing through Phoenix our own handguards. So all of these will have new handguards. Stocks will be refinished original. I know they got the hole in them. There are a lot of guys like to get the dummy selectors to fill in that hole. I recommend it. We've had them before. If we could ever find the molds, we'd run some more to kind of give it that look like it is a GI M14. Fulton Armory actually has a phenomenal selector switch. It's made out of a metal, and I've got a couple of those on my guns. Finally, we build standard issue guns. That's our forte. If you're looking for match guns, I highly recommend Lou up at LRB, Rich at Fulton, Ted Brown out on the West Coast. These guys are experts at that. They're far better than we are. So listen, thank you. If you have any questions, we're going to have different models. If we come up with different parts kits, will be on our website. Standard issue guns will be on our website or on Classic's website. These are the first models that we're doing. We've got the 19-inch carbine version, which was actually an experimental model made by Harrington and Richardson. And then we've got the good old standard 22-inch barrel that any old Marine will know how heavy the damn thing is when you hump it for 20 miles. So thank you. Have a great day.